Mr. Chairman, there are over 1,100 separate elected school boards governing public education in California, from kindergarten through the second year of community colleges. They range from the sprawling LA Unified District to tiny rural districts. Many members of our legislature have served on these independently elected bodies who are responsible to their constituents and respond also to their bargaining units. These locally elected school board members, just like city councils, boards of supervisors, need maximum flexibility when they spend their public service dollar. And that maximum flexibility, independence, and autonomy requires that they be allowed to contract out certain services if they find they can be done on a more cost-effective basis. Current state law puts a straitjacket on these independently elected bodies and creates an unlevel playing field, creating a separate standard for them than they have for boards of supervisors of counties, cities, etc. AB 2621 would restore the ability of locally elected school boards to have this tool to free up money and reduce overhead and free up money, directing it to the classroom where the money properly can be more spent educating our young people. Public education overhead has grown substantially, and this is designed to provide a flexible response to that. A Rose Institute study of San Diego school districts, for example, in the 1990s, showed that while in 1922 in San Diego County school districts, 80% of the entire public education dollar went for teacher salaries. By 1995, that was only 50%. So this is a tool which would allow school districts to focus more money into the classroom and less for maintenance and overhead that could possibly be done by the private sector. Doesn't require it, simply allows it as an option. And I'm here asking for your aye vote.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, sir.
This 1922 study,
right.
Is it possible that the percentage of teacher salary has gone down to 50% because we don't have enough money in the schools?
Well, the amount of money is a lot greater than it was in the 20s, but the percent that is actually going for teacher salaries has declined.
Not if you compare the amount of money to population and inflation. If you take those into account, it's actually less.
I'm talking about the percentage of the overall budget. Yeah. So this would be a percentage figure of the overall amount being spent in public education.
Now goes to other people besides teachers.
My perspective is that the percent may be higher or lower, I mean, but the problem may be we just don't have enough money in the system. That's all. Just go ahead.
I have, speaking on behalf of this bill, Craig DeLuce to my left, who is a former president and still on the school board of the Robla School District, which serves 6 K-8 schools in Sacramento County, and to my right, David Wolf of the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association. Craig?
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee members. I thank you for this opportunity to come and speak before you today. I am a member of the Robla School District, which actually is located right here in Sacramento County. You know, we've been dealing with 8 years of declining enrollment, which means that we've had to become experts on doing more with less. We've had to work as much as possible as we can in order to be creative. Flexibility for us has been the key, the ability to be able to make decisions that will best impact our students. When we go into the collective bargaining process, one of the things that we do is we focus on the primarily as our goals. We lay out the goals that we have, and one of those is protecting and preserving the long-term fiscal position of our district. For us, for this to happen, flexibility is the key. We have to have every tool available in our arsenal in order to be able to do this. Part of that has to do with being able to contract out services where we could potentially have a significant cost savings. Every dollar that we're able to save through non-instructional services is a dollar that we're able to put into the classroom, that we're able to put towards textbooks, that we're able to put towards teacher salaries, that we're able to put towards instructional aids. Prior to SB 1419, we had this ability. And in actuality, it was something that was available to us, and it was something that we had to deal with historically in the collective bargaining process. And Mr. Chairman, understanding you and the committee's commitment to the collective bargaining process, all we're asking here today is to be given that weapon to be able to use again in order to be able to save money, in order to be able to get more dollars, a greater percentage of our dollars into the classroom. We ask that, especially in these tough economic times. We realize that things are unlikely to turn around anytime soon. So when we're at a point now where we're not just cutting fat, we're cutting bone. And at that point, we need the opportunity to make whatever decisions that we can that first and foremost will benefit the students within our school.
Mr. Nastandi?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If first of all, I want to note, I think someone Norby was a school teacher prior to.
I was for 20 years, yes.
Very good. And Mr. DeLuz, or either one of you can maybe comment about this. Gentleman said that you can do contracting out right now. Could you explain that process and what you must go through to do that, or if you could walk me through that, it'd be helpful.
In essence, what it does is it sets up a number of parameters, including the fact that none of the wages that are offered by the contractor can be beneath those of the classified employee. In essence, what it does is it sets up a number of. It basically says, okay, well, you can contract out, but include all of these provisions that will not allow you to save money. All the ways in which working through a private contractor would allow you to save money. It wipes all of those away, which basically makes it almost impossible for you to be able to contract out and demonstrate a savings. And in reality, what happens is a lot of these services wind up not being provided. There are at least 3 specific instances. For example, Folsom Cordova Unified School District could have saved $700,000 in contracting out of transportation services. It was fought. They did not have those savings. Reed Elementary School District had the opportunity. They only could afford 1 groundskeeper in order to keep up their fields. Community folks wanted to actually bring in someone from the outside or pay someone from the outside to help keep up their grounds. Once again, because of SB 1419, they were not allowed to do so. Santa Clara Unified School District, they had included in the purchase of some computers, in the price, the installation of those computers. Well, once again, they were not able to do that, so basically those computers sat for, I don't even know if they've even been installed yet. The point is that there are real savings that could be put in place. And, you know, as a school board member, you know, I have great relationships with our collective bargaining units, and I very much respect and value the work that they do. Once again, though, as a school board, as a school district, our first job is to educate children. First and foremost. Our second is to make sure that we protect the long-term fiscal solvency of the school district. And we need to make sure that we're doing as much as possible to get dollars into the classroom. And I understand the importance of protecting jobs, but we need to make sure that we're protecting children first and foremost. And this bill will allow us to do that.
And if I can follow up with that, I guess the assumption is that as we sit up here, we have a better understanding of then what you should be able to do in your school district and how to manage those finances as opposed to the elected board members. Is that the assumption with the current law?
Well, it seems that there is a dual personality in that in some areas we want to give local folks the ability to make decisions, and then on the other hand, when it comes to other things, we don't want to give them the ability. My attitude is either you want to give us the ability and the authority and the responsibility to make these decisions, or you do not. Either collective bargaining is something that we're going to respect, or it's something that we're not.